So for my puzzle cube, I have already gone through and created individual pieces. Some are very small, some are bigger. They are all one unit on a side, so every dimension should line up. And I've already gone through and chosen a random material for each one, just so they'll look different. So this one's just plain gray, this one's machined, etc. If you look inside of your drive, you should have 5 pieces. You might have 4, but either way, you should have them all in the same folder ready to go. To make the assembly, once I built all 5 pieces, I'm going to click on File New, and I'm going to go to a Standard Assembly. Standard Assembly. Great. I need to place all of my pieces. Assuming I'm in the correct folder, so my network drive, engineering design, puzzle cubes, I can go through and place them one at a time. Yes, you can select more than one, but I've actually had better luck with kids doing them individually because sometimes if you place more than one at a time, they're on top of each other. So I just chose all 5 of my pieces, and I need to decide which one's the one that I'm going to keep unmoving the entire time. So I'm going to say this one. Doesn't really matter. It could be any of them. Just think of this as your first piece, the one you'd put on the desk first. I'm going to right-click it, and I'm going to choose Grounded. Technically, you don't have to do this, but now it will not move, which is going to make it a lot easier for me to build this thing. This L-shaped piece is going to go through the slot there in the center and stick out the other side. So I know that this face here is going to be touching the middle. So I'm going to choose Constrain, and I want face-to-face. So I'm going to choose the top of this, and you can see there's a little green highlight running around the border, is going to be touching the face of this. It slaps around. I'll hit Apply. I can still move this thing freely, but if I look at it directly from the side, you'll notice it's locked in. Those two faces are stuck together. It's just not very obvious. I know that the side of this is going to touch the inside of the L, so I'll hit Constrain again. I'm going to choose the L-shaped side. I got to spin around here to see. It's going to touch this face. I hit Apply. So now I'm still not done, but you can tell that this thing can move back and forth. But now it can't move left or right. It can't move up or down. So I know that, let me get him out of there. This face here, let me constrain again. This face here, the bottom of the L, is going to slide forward until it runs into this face. If I hit Apply now, they are completely locked together. The L shape is through, and I can no longer move those pieces at all. The easy way to think of this is you're putting it together exactly the same way it will go together in real life. So for instance, if I put this piece on there, this weird looking piece, let me just put him over here. There are ways to rotate him and set him up. I'm not going to bother. I know the face of this piece is going to press against the face of this. And now he's a little more in position. Let me hit Apply. You can do all of these at once. I'm just canceling so you guys can tell what I'm doing a little easier. So I know that the bottom of this little tooth is going to be resting on top of the brown piece right there. I'm going to hit Apply. And now it's sliding back and forth. And I know that the inside of this, in real life, which piece is it going to be touching? It's going to be touching there. I hit Apply, and you'll notice now it is completely locked in place. Now I left this a little oops so you guys could see, uh-oh, I did it wrong. He's upside down. He's in the wrong position. What am I going to do? If I click on this, it'll highlight so I know which piece it is. If I hit the plus next to it, there's all of the constraints that I've made so far. So if I messed up, it's usually easier, believe it or not, to just delete all of the constraints. So now it moves freely. That's usually your simpler route. Don't forget to save periodically. If you haven't saved at all, make sure you do a save as. Go to your network drive, engineering design. It should be the same folder that you have done for all of your individual puzzle cube parts. Any pop-ups like this about updating, just hit OK. Once you are done doing all of that, I went through and already made a finished version. It should look like a solid cube 3x3. You should be able to see all of your parts in there. Don't forget to save so you don't lose all of your progress. This is the same cube we're going to glue together in real life. It doesn't matter if you glue it first or assemble it in Inventor first. We assemble it in both.